I'm currently riding my my Boomcat 125. This bike goes by quite a few different names. It's mostly known as the Boomcat 125. It's also called the Boom Retro Gas 2, and then somebody calls it the BR 125. I don't know. This bike has a bunch of different names. It's a brand new 2019 motorcycle from the company called Boom. They make the Boom Vader and a couple other pretty well-known bikes. This bike is incredibly rare in Southern California. Damn, I missed my exit. In Southern California, there's only two. There's this one, and then another one by this guy I know named Pete, and he has his completely cafe racered out with like clip-on bars and all kinds of stuff like that. He uses it to advertise his business. I don't think he actually rides it. But in Southern California, to my knowledge, there's only two, and I believe there is only like maybe 100 of these in America. According to Pete, he said there's only about 100 here. Boom Retro, or the Boomcat, or whatever you want to call it, the Boomcat has actually been an absolute nightmare to own. It's, you know what, forget this. Yeah, it's been a complete and utter nightmare to own. Everything breaks on it every couple minutes. I'm constantly fixing things. I never feel comfortable driving anywhere without tools. And it's kind of nerve-wracking to drive around. I bought this bike with 2 miles on it. I've almost put 500 miles on it. And it's been broken almost every day that I've tried to ride it. Something else will break on it. But I'm hoping that I'm crossing problems off the list as I ride it more. I've fixed a lot of stuff, and it seems to be riding better now. But you know, every day it's a new thing that's wrong with this stupid bike. I'm going to only keep this bike for a little bit longer. I'm saving up to get the new, I want to get the 2020 TW200. I'm really interested in TW200s. Damn it, there's a bunch of people here. Oh, this really puts a damper on things. Okay. Alright, there is work crew cleaning this place. We might have came, midnight might be a little bit early. I normally come here around 1, 2-ish in the morning, and I think midnight might be a tiny bit early to be here. I will say the suspension on the Boom 125 is actually pretty decent. Considering that they're not like upside down forks or anything like that, there's like standard forks and then dual shocks from the rear. They're actually pretty good. I weigh like 190-ish, somewhere around there, and I never bottom out, never have any problems with it. And I drive this bike super aggressively. When I first got it, I was really babying it, but then I've really lost my patience with it, with how broken it is all the time. It's constantly broken. I wouldn't say I beat on it. I would just say I drive it aggressively, because I don't drive it like I'm doing damage to it. You know, I don't drive it in a manner that would actually hurt it, but I definitely weave it and stuff like that. It's pretty quick for what it is. You know, it's alright. I'm just really frustrated with it. I was so pumped on this bike and loved it so much and was so happy with it. So I put a brand new front tire on the Boom 125, Boomcat, whatever you want to call it. I put that cool Subico like dual sport dirt bike tire. It's more of a dirt bike tire than it is a dual sport tire. But I put that on the front, just like I had on the Amstar Nostalgia. I get that all good to go. I push it to my gas station because I needed air, and I don't have an air pump in my house yet. So I push it to the gas station. It's all fine. I start up the bike at the gas station, put a little gas in it, and then I take off down the road, and my back hub, the wheel bearing inside my back hub explodes and destroys everything. And then, because this bike is so incredibly rare, it took 3 weeks to get parts to fix it. And these aren't even the right parts that are in here. I am running a wheel bearing and a hub and biscuits for a dirt bike that I have no idea what dirt bike it even is. I bought the parts from the dealership that the bike originally came from, and the guy's like, yeah, I don't know where I don't know, it's off some dirt bike or something. It took me 3 weeks to get the parts. And then the spacing, hold on, I'm gonna actually finish telling this story before I go on Reddit. And the spacing for this hub is obviously not correct, duh, because it's not even designed for this bike. So it's a complete and utter nightmare. So I had to, it ended up taking me 13 hours. Real talk, that's no exaggeration whatsoever. The guy dropped the parts off at my house at 3 o'clock in the morning because he was driving down to, I don't know, down by Mexico or something and drop off the bike. And he left from Simi Valley. I'm not terribly far from Mexico, but he left from Simi Valley and dropped the parts off to me. When he rolled through my neighborhood, it was 3 a.m. He dropped me off the parts at 3 a.m. I worked on installing the parts non-stop from 3 a.m. to 4:30 in the afternoon. It took me around 13 hours to get this hub seated in the back wheel of this nightmare bike. I had to go to the store and buy a Dremel and buy all this stuff, and then so I buy the Dremel, and I would have to grind down this hub. Grind it down a little bit, seat it in, and it looks like it fits fine. Put the wheel back together, gap the chain correctly, take it for a test drive, and then if it starts to wobble, drive it back home, take it all back apart, Dremel more out, and then put it back together. I had to do that 9 times. I had to completely take off the wheel, grind it down and reinstall the wheel 9 times before it was gapped correctly. And then I'm like, cool, it's gapped correctly, good to go, we're good. I'm so excited to finally be mobile after almost a month of Ubering places, because I sold my red bike to pay for the black bike. After a month of Ubering places, I was so grateful. I'm like, praise the Lord, let's get the heck out of here. Let's hit the road. Hold on, there's some kind of stuff going on here. So after all that, I'm so excited to be out on the road, so excited to be good to go, that I don't realize my wheel is now sitting a few millimeters over from where it once was, from where it was supposed to sit from the factory. I didn't even notice it, because I don't think of that. And I was so exhausted that I didn't even, I was just ready to be done with it. And then so I'm driving for a full day, and the bike is vibrating a lot at 50 miles an hour. The bike is vibrating a ton. I don't know, something's not right. I got my girlfriend on the back driving around, and she's like, the bike feels weird. It doesn't feel like it normally does. Like my seat, it just, something's not right. We both agreed something wasn't right. And then so the next day I'm driving down the road, and I realize that my wheel has been rubbing on my secondary kickstand, the moped kickstand to lift up the back of the bike, so you can work on it or whatever, store it, straight up and down like a moped kickstand. The wheel is rubbing on that, and has been all day. of driving the day prior. So I drive around all that day, you know, and I'm like, the bike doesn't feel right. I went over everything, and I couldn't find anything, any reason why the bike was running so bad. Finally, I figure out that it's the kickstand, the wheel is rubbing on the kickstand. And so, so I look at it, and I'm like, well, you know, I really need this kickstand on here so I can lift the bike up, because I don't have a jack here in California yet, so I kind of really need this secondary kickstand to be able to work on the bike easier. And so the only option I could see was to completely remove this kickstand, or to cut it. You know, I tried banging it with a hammer, I tried everything to bend it a little bit, I tried regapping the wheel, there was nothing I could do. And so what I did was I borrowed a grinder from my girlfriend's dad, and ground out the inside of the secondary kickstand, like a big notch out of the secondary kickstand. So it's like this, and then like a huge like half circle I ground out to give the wheel room, you know, in a variety of situations. If I want to go up a tire size, because I'd like to put a dirt bike tire on the back of them. All this stuff, man. And so I get that all squared away. What a nightmare. What a nightmare. And the first couple days that I had this, I believe it was my second day of owning this, I ran into electrical trouble where the rear brake light, the running brake light, this one that's on, not like when you engage the brake, the running brake light kept failing, and no matter what I did, I completely took the entire bike apart. I couldn't find a split wire, a bad solder, a missing fuse. I couldn't find anything. And so there's like a weird third running light inside this headlight for some godforsaken reason, who knows. And what I did was I took that, I cut up a power cord for a disco ball, and soldered that power cord and extended that wire throughout the entire frame of the bike, and then wired in a temporary taillight. Now I have a really cool, super cool Cafe Racer, really trendy taillight plate light assembly on the back. Every single bolt on this bike was either completely, unbelievably loose and feels like it was going to fall apart, or it was completely stripped. Everything that could be a Phillips head screw was completely stripped. Everything that was a bolt or a nut or anything like that was ungodly loose. It looks like this bike didn't go through a shakedown whatsoever, because at like putting 10 miles on this, actually riding this bike home from picking it up, I had a plate fall off on me. I had there's a plate to guard the front sprocket. Riding down the road after my test drive, I'm like, cool, I'll take it, you know, rad. The front plate falls off, and I ended up losing one of the 8mm bolts. I saved one, but I lost the other 8mm bolt that holds that plate on, somewhere in the middle of central downtown Los Angeles. I have no idea where it is. Now, I didn't buy this bike from a dealership. I bought this bike from an incredibly nice young man and his wife, who bought this bike, and I don't think the guy who bought it could work a clutch. The bike had 2 miles on it. He purchased it from a dealership, and probably had it delivered to his house or something. I don't know. The bike had 2 miles, and he posted it for sale, and I think he was having a difficulty working a clutch, or difficulty with wanting to take it on a highway or something. I don't know. He really didn't like the bike that much, and then ended up getting something different. But at 2 miles on the bike, with a 2019 incredibly rare Boomcat 125, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is an incredible opportunity to make, get a great bike, to make content for the channel and to advertise my new website, squid50.com, carry a bunch of cool parts, which I'm still going to do with this bike. I've just ran into so many problems that I was never, ever, ever expecting to run into on something that's brand new. 2019, that's this year, 2 miles, brand new bike. So where I'm at right now is I'm gonna keep modifying this bike and keep using it because it's my primary form of transportation. I'm gonna make a ton of content about it, add a bunch of parts from my website, Squid50, onto this bike, and show you how to install them and show you that you can get them right there on my website for a very affordable price and stuff like that. I'm gonna hang on to this bike and save up my pennies and do all that great stuff, make as much content as I can with it, have as much fun as possible with it, which I really enjoy riding this bike quite a bit. I'm just frustrated with it. And I'm gonna save up and get a Yamaha TW200. I'd like to get the 2019 or the 2020, or I would prefer not to get a used one, but if a good deal comes up, we'll see. We'll see what the Lord has held for us. But yeah, I'm gonna pull over here in a second and show you guys the tail lights that I put on. I also took the front fender off because I thought the front fender was pretty ugly. I didn't like the front fender. I like bikes that have that like cafe kind of scrambler look. I prefer scramblers over kind of cafe stuff because I like the off-road look of things. And I like going off-road. I really enjoy being off-road. But I don't particularly like the look of dirt bikes. I mean, dirt bikes are cool, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I like the cross between a cafe and a dirt bike. Alright. Really cool taillights I got. And it's cool because when you put on the turn signal, how rad is that? And then with the running lights off, look at how cool that is. So cool. Well, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little ride-along moto vlog. Sorry we couldn't go to the spot that I was planning on taking you guys. I'll definitely make some videos there and shoot some cool footage for the website there very soon. But if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Hit the subscribe. Check out my website, squid50.com. Buy stuff over there. Tell your friends to buy stuff. That really helps support the channel and helps support my dreams. And if there's anything you would like me to carry on Squid50, let me know, and I'll do my best to carry it for you. Let's end this video in a little bit lighter of the location. It's pretty dark here. Got the green. Yeah, so with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like, hit the subscribe, have a great day, and I will see you guys on the next one.